Thank you for joining me today for my book launch. I'm really excited about this book, Girl Behind the Fence, Unity. This is the last book in the series of books in the Girl Behind the Fence series. I have participated as an author in a number of the books in this series, and this was the last one. The headlining author, Mozelle Martin, I've gotten to know her very well over the last 4 or 5 years that we've been working on this series. And I've been blessed to be a part of so many talented women authors sharing their stories in this self-help series book. So let me tell you a little bit about Girl Behind the Fence series that was created by Mozelle. It started with some emotion. She had selected certain things that she identified were critical to women's mental health, and she felt that women had a story to share to help enlighten and provide um, hope and a positive message to women struggling with that particular area. So, the first of the series that I wrote in was grief, and I shared the story of my sister's death from her cystic fibrosis. Um, and that really opened the door for me to participate in future books with this series. How did I find Mozelle? Well, I was actually at a pageant event and I ran into another women's author. And when we got to talking about our mission and really what's important to us, mental health is really important as a component of total health and wellness. And this individual, Krista, invited me to connect with Mozelle to consider writing for this series. And it's been such a blessing to be able to share stories and my own personal experiences and what I've learned through those experiences with so many women in these books. The other great thing about the Girl Behind the Fence series is that each book, the proceeds benefit a different nonprofit. So as we've gone through the publications, I think I've been a contributing author for 8 in the series. I lost count. I'd have to go back and look. But there's quite a few that have my stories in them. Each one has a different nonprofit that we're blessing with some of the proceeds. So that's really exciting. I have a heart to serve the community and to give back, and this has just been an amazing way to do so. So this was the last book in the series, and so I was really excited to be able to participate in sharing this story. This particular book, let's see here. The nonprofit is Women of Unity. Uniting women has been the purpose of the entire book series, so it only seems fitting to mention Women of Unity. This nonprofit offers a life goal advisory program, life and business coaching, nonprofit and business assistance, devotional prayers, partnership referrals, volunteer opportunities, and more. They promote women's health and a holistic care path. They offer monthly networking opportunities, employment referrals, courses, presentations, mentorship programs, and community initiatives. Visit them at www.womenofunity.org. So, one of the other great things about the books is that at the end of every book, there are resources for the women who are reading the books to get help from trained professionals. So I want to read you the back of the book because I think it sets the stage. And if you have any questions at all about um, the book or about my writing journey, please feel free to put those in the chat and I'll answer those. I think I need to put on my glasses. It seems that more than any time in our lives, people all around the world are divided. Society has changed from one of the most peace and cohesion to one of hatred and suffering. From politics to private lives, depression, anxiety, gender identity, inflation, education, civil rights, reproductive health, addiction, and suicide are relentlessly raging across the globe, forever changing the lives of youth and adults. In this final book of the series, authors come together to help inspire togetherness, whether trying to unite a personal or business relationship or praying that the entire civilization comes together harmoniously. You will find hope and inspiration in these stories. That's why this book exists. So there are 9 of us that contributed to this final book, and each one we share a personal story and some learning nuggets for the audience. And I would like to read you an excerpt of mine. So to set the stage, I really want to talk about finding a place, finding a group and belonging. Find your tribe. Love them hard. You've heard the quote, right? Easier said than done. We all want to be loved, to have friends, to feel like they belong. So growing up in school, I encountered lots of mean girls and popularity rules, right? And I really didn't feel like I had a close-knit group of friends that I've stayed in contact with. I never really felt like I belonged, even though I belonged to a lot of different activities. And so now I'd like to read to you a little excerpt from the text. Women in Business, Friends for Life. As an up-and-coming executive, I joined the American Businesswomen's Association, ABWA, in 2001. My primary reason for joining the professional association was professional development, not to make friends. I was surprised to find this unexpected byproduct of my membership, a cadre of friends, some of which I've known for 20 plus years now. This was in contrast to my career, because my previous experience in the business world didn't really lend itself to friendships. Yet, with each military move, I had a group of professional and connected women in my new community to help support me and help me get acquainted to the community and its leaders. When we moved to Arizona, the chapter president met me and my husband for lunch while we were house hunting. She gave us information about places we might want to live, other groups to get involved in, and people to connect with in the area. Members were open and willing to lend a helping hand or a kindness, even when you didn't know them. When I moved to North Carolina, a chapter member invited me over for dinner, which was a godsend given that I didn't have any household goods other than the items I brought in my car and was tired of eating out. This is the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with, kind and caring. The women of ABWA always had a can-do attitude. When my husband and I found out we were getting 3 foster children that week and I had an out-of-town ABWA event, they helped me pick up my new car out of state on the way to the event and coordinate childcare during the event. People with tenacity and drive are not the only ones you want in your tribe, but in your corner because they have a positive mindset and the determination to make things happen. These are women who support each other. When my sister died, I received cards from all over the country from ABWA members. What started out as a way to establish business networking connections and a professional development has become so much more. I'm not afraid to seek out a member to share a room with at a conference. What amazing friendships I've made through these travels. You get to know a lot about someone when you're sleeping in the same bed with them. When I travel, I connect with these women in my tribe, further reinforcing those bonds of friendliness that already exist. So, the lesson learned, I share some other stories about my experience with military spouses and my Christian community friends. And what I really want to bring home is creating that tribe, finding your tribe, and creating that tribal unity with the people that you surround yourself with. Togetherness and a sense of unity in your tribe is created through a culture that incorporates several key components: shared experience, common passions and core values, empathy and compassion, supporting each other's growth, fun, positivity, and mutual respect and acceptance of each other. It's these components that you see in teams or groups that are really cohesive and create that synergy for success. But more importantly, unity in a tribe satisfies a person's need or desire to belong and be a part of something greater. It's through collaboration and connectedness that we have become empowered. Don't be afraid to pursue a tribe that gets you. You deserve it. Be brave and pursue happiness. So that's the lesson that I want to share in this story. And there are so many other stories in this book, as well as the other books in Girl Behind the Fence series that I've contributed to, with valuable tips, tricks, and life experiences, because I feel like if we can learn from someone else's hardships and grow through that, it's a great way to learn instead of making our own mistakes. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop those in the chat. One of the questions that people are already asking me is, what's next for you? Because this is the last in this particular series that I was invited to write in. And I went to Speak Up Conference, which is a conference for Christian authors, earlier this year. And I'm really excited because my next two book projects are devotionals. One for women and another for people with chronic disease and illness. So I've already started working on those. Those are in the pike, and I'm excited to share those with you when they are available. I'm always looking for opportunities to write in magazines or write articles, and sometimes the Lord just leads me to write about something specific. Sometimes I have ideas, and when I was working on this series, I definitely let God kind of push me in the direction that He wanted me to go, because the list of titles that we were going to be working on throughout the last couple years was provided, and I didn't always know what I was going to write about. I waited for the Lord to tell me, like, this is a story you need to share. And I did the same thing with this last one. And sometimes it takes the Lord longer to tell me what He wants me to write about, and sometimes I get an answer right away. But this particular book, He told me that I need to share some hard things about not fitting in and what I've learned or how I've overcome. And even if at some point in your life you don't feel like you have those close-knit friendships, there's always opportunities to connect. So I don't think that you should ever give up looking for that tribe if you don't feel like you have them right now. So that's the message that I have in this story. I'm always looking for opportunities to speak and share my message as well with organizations and associations. Sometimes I share more personal stories like the one in this book, and other times I speak about topics for other business entrepreneurs, health and wellness topics, human resource topics. I always cater it to my audience. I love teaching and training people, and writing is just one of the ways that I do that. Speaking is another, and of course, connecting with you on social media is another. So I would love to give away some autographed books. So if you are watching this later and you want to comment and share information about the book, you could share this virtual book launch with individuals. I will put in the comments a link if you want to purchase a book on Amazon, or if you want an autograph copy, you need to put in the comments that you want an autograph copy, because I have a limited amount in my possession that I can personalize an autograph for you and ship it off in the mail, or to a loved one that you feel would benefit from the stories. I'll be happy to do that. I'll be giving one away to someone who shares and comments. So make sure you do that. I appreciate your love and support on my writing journey. It means so much to me. I'm actually doing a live, in person book launch event as well on September 15th at the Bistro in Aledo, Texas at 6 p.m. So if you're interested in joining me for a drink and some appetizers and talking to me, I'll answer questions and again read from the text. I would love to meet you, and I will have available copies of this book. If you want the entire series of all the ones that I've written, I also have special discounts on that. And if you order a book from this book launch party, I will include the shipping. So the price is $16.99 for the book, $20 with shipping. So if you want to order the book and you comment in the thread, you save a couple dollars on shipping as well. Thank you for joining me for today's virtual Q&A and book launch for Girl Behind the Fence Unity. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching.